Ladies and gentlemen, and we are here. Sorry for the delay. Now we're going to start our sessions. The question is, blockchain is the real estate investor's new frontiers. Join us. We are exploring the impact of digital transaction, the crypto real estate wave, and the concept of real estate in Metaverse. Leader our discussions as the esteemed moderator, Panis Pieri, a distinguished journalist, podcaster, and growth hacker. Panis, we are eager to hear your insight.
Thank you. Welcome all. Many thanks to the organizers for the invitation. But let's get to it. We have also the timer here. Let's start from the lady of the house, Christiana Aristidou. You have 2 minutes to tell us about you and introduce yourself. Take your mic. Artur, you can take yours.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Christiana Aristidou. I'm actually a tech lawyer for the last 26 years. So I'm practicing technology law for the last 26 years, which is of course very related to business, directly related to business. I'm the president of the technology committee of the Cyprus Bar Association, also the head of delegation to ISO, which is the International Standardization Organization, TC 307, which is for blockchains, and the ambassador in Cyprus for the European Legal Tech Association. So this is it from me. So enjoy the session, because we're gonna share with you some really awesome stuff here. So it's good if you pay attention in here, because I'm sure you will using it. Blockchain soon. Thank you,
Christiana. Keep them. It's yours. Alexis Nicolaou. And then
Thank you, Panis. Thank you, everyone. Alexis Nicolaou, my name. I had Grand Thornton Cyprus's Distributed Ledger Technologies Business Unit. In Cyprus, we're I would say, the only firm, professional services firm, that has a business unit that is dedicated to distributed ledger technologies. Most of you probably know it as blockchain, or some may even confuse it with Bitcoin still. I've been following on from the previous panel. I had to check online, but I do make it into Generation X. I've been lucky enough in my career to witness 3 significant technology changes. First of all, when I came back to Cyprus, I was working in the city in London for 9 years. For 15 years, I was in a media group. I was actually heading one of the local media groups. I was lucky enough to see the transition of advertising from the paper, from the print advertising to online advertising, having launched Cyprus's first online portal, Sigma Live. Then I was again lucky enough, as part of my escapades in electronic money, we set up one of Cyprus's first EMIs to see the transition from banking, the way we knew it, the queuing up in the bank, the depositing of checks, the depositing of cash, into electronic money. And now I'm lucky enough to be part of this new revolution, this new technological revolution called blockchain, and all the opportunities that will come from applications that will be developed on top of this technology. Thank you.
Cool, thanks, Alexis. Last but not least, Artur Zavada from Hope for Crypto. Artur, tell us more about you in 2 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everybody. My name is Artur. I do represent today a company that is called Home for Crypto. And to be honest, I'm not that experienced as my colleagues, but what I know, and I want to tell you how to make your real estate business works better, to get more money and to get more profit overall, working with your future partner, Home for Crypto. Yep, I will tell you a bit later how it works.
Cool. Okay, we have experience. We have new young entrepreneurs like Artur. You have a journalist here, a blogger. Let's dive into our subject for today, blockchain and real estate. Alexis, okay, with technologies, with the disruptive technologies like blockchain, you have benefits, you have challenges. How do you see this technology? What are some of the benefits and challenges for the real estate, and how they can use blockchain to solve these challenges or reap the benefits? Yeah.
First of all, we refer to blockchain assuming that everybody in the room knows what blockchain is, which is probably not the case. Can I see hands up, please? Just who knows what blockchain is? Please. Okay, it's much better than usual. Definitely. Pleasure to be here. Blockchain is exactly what it says it is. It's a chain of blocks. Basically, in each block, there's information that is being stored. It could be a financial transaction. It could be, for example, a transaction of a crypto, the first application set up on blockchain. It could be a document. It can be any kind of information that is stored into a block. Each block has a certain capacity. And the chain of blocks is being built by including a hash, a fingerprint of the previous block into the one that follows, building the chain of blocks. And every few minutes, a new block is being created. This is actually stored on a number of what we call databases that are scattered around the globe. So the mechanics and how the blockchain works, it makes it one of the most secure way of storing any kind of information. Immutability is the biggest asset of blockchain technology, as well as transparency, security, etc., etc. So, in order to tamper any information that is found in a block, you will have essentially to go to the last block of the chain and tamper each block subsequent to the one where the information is stored, and you have to do that at the same time on all copies of that database. A task simply impossible, or it will take billions in energy to actually affect something like that. That's why blockchain is considered to be the most secure way of storing any information. Now, when it comes to the property sector, I'm sure most people here would know the complexities involved in a property transaction, the number of parties that are actually involved, lawyers, agents, the land registry. All this causes some kind of lack of transparency when it comes to the transactions that are actually taking place, to the ownership of the property. The coming of blockchain technology sheds some light and makes it much easier, due to its transparent nature and trust, to actually be able to view details that are actually based on the blockchain, should the real estate transaction be registered, of course, on the chain, and increases the level of confidence on the information that you're actually looking at. Title deed fraud. That's another issue that is actually being faced by the property industry. The ability to secure a document on the blockchain, and the difficulty with which you will have to tamper that document, and also the fact that the authenticity of that document can be verified independently of the issuer, and that is a big asset of the blockchain. The fact that you don't need the middle parties, you don't need the verifying authorities in actual fact to be able to prove that something is original. Imagine a world of digital documents where you can actually have trust in every digital document that is put in front of you. I'm sure we all know the ease with which you can actually tamper a digital document, a PDF file. You convert it to Word, you make the changes, and you just make it into PDF again. So easy to actually get it past whatever you wish. Again, the involvement of middle parties, of third parties, increases the inefficiency, increases the paperwork, increases the actual timing in order to get a transaction through. The introduction of blockchain technology and so-called smart contracts, which I'm sure Christiana will expand further on, which are basically contracts that are translated into code and anchored on the blockchain, self-executing upon fulfillment of a certain prerequisite. That all makes blockchain a lot more efficient in executing any property transactions. The difficulty with which people who have access to funding or financing nowadays, we all know the problems with the banks. For a bank to loan you, you need to show that you have the money. The ease of fractionalizing, tokenizing, I'm sure, for those of you that were here in the previous panel, there was brief mention of tokenization. So the ability to break that asset down into smaller units and be able to access smaller investors, that definitely increases the level of liquidity into the property sector. The ease of access to investors, buyers or sellers from overseas. Selling a property overseas involves a number of complications, whether it's currency conversions or the local laws. All of that can be bypassed through the use of blockchain technology.
Thank you, Alexis, and we'll come back to some of this later. Christiana, you as a tech lawyer, you have seen a lot of use case studies about blockchain technology also in the real estate. Can you tell us, how we can implement some of these use case studies?
Before I reply to your question, Panis, although basic knowledge in blockchains is assumed to the audience, I want to share a bit of easy information for them to understand what we are talking about here. So everyone may have heard about Bitcoin. So that was in 2008. That was an invention that is called a cryptocurrency. But during the evolution all these years, we are moved from the cryptocurrencies to crypto assets. And that is the difference. Cryptocurrency is a subcategory of crypto assets. Therefore, imagine that because of this evolution, and I'm sharing this with you because I'm an approved trainer, and I use simple words just to make you understand, because I want everybody to understand. So when you leave this room, then you know, and you haven't participated in a session from which you haven't got any value. So I've trained the central bank. I have trained SciSec. I have trained authorities and regulators and forex companies and EMIs and many incumbents and other companies, not only Cyprus but also abroad. That is why I'm sharing with you. It's important for you to know the difference between cryptocurrencies and crypto assets. Therefore, the difference between a real estate agency, for example, dealing with cryptocurrencies that is getting paid for what they sell in cryptocurrencies, and the use of crypto assets in real estate. So that is a different thing. So one use case is to leverage blockchain, and believe me, you don't have to know what it is. Because let me ask you this question. What is internet? Do you know? Oh God, not even one hand. You don't know, but you use it. What is email? What is email? Do you know how is email created? So you do. So you see, then you use it because it gives you value. So this is what you will understand in the very near future, that blockchain gives you value, so you don't need to know about it. Just accept that this is a kind of unhackable technology that can be used, and mainly it will be used for tokenization. What is tokenization? Forget about cryptocurrencies. Imagine that within that Bitcoin, which now it's not a Bitcoin, it's some other kind of token, we can code anything, not just value, like we get the Bitcoin, like it has like $25,000 value today. So that it's got value. Cryptocurrencies got value inside them, let's say, just to be not talking legalese, but simple words. Crypto assets are not cryptocurrencies. We actually don't store only value in them. They have some other functions. So in those kind of tokens, which come under the category of crypto assets, we get tokens coded. We code them through smart contracts. And what do we code in them? Anything. Anything. From like shares to bonds to debt loans, debt notes. We raise money through them. So inside that token that we coded, it's not only value in terms of cryptocurrency. That is a crypto asset. So what do we do with the real estate? The most important use case for real estate is tokenization. We fractionalize a building, we fractionalize marinas, we fractionalize any asset that is a physical asset, that is a real estate asset. We fractionalize that into as many fractions as we like, and then we code these fractions into a token, and then we sell this token. Therefore, what do we see here? We see the access to this real estate industry, to these kind of investments of smaller investors. Because if I value that token, if that token is got inside it a share, because, for example, the real estate, that specific real estate is on the company, is on one company. That company can fractionalize the building to thousands and millions of fractions, and then can code each fraction in a token on the blockchains, and then we sell these fractions. Therefore, you can raise money with that. Even if you don't have money, you can raise money to move on to your next project. How do you do that?
Lots of case studies. So
yes, so first of all, you can leverage blockchain as a database. You can do due diligence because of those that Alexis said is unhackable, is transparent, immutable, and all these properties. This, you can Google it, you can find out what it is. But regarding tokenization, which is the most important use case, which you guys in the real estate, you can use, and not only in the real estate, of course, we have other assets. We deal with other industries. The energy industry, we deal a lot now. Shipping industry, we get to have ships getting fractionalized, yachts getting fractionalized, for whatever reason. And we combine that with sustainability, inclusiveness, ESG, and whatever, climate change, and we do all this stuff. So your project like transforms into a project respecting the climate, respecting sustainability, like being aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations.
lots of case studies. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Christiana. But let's see, Artur is one of these case studies. You have created a platform where real estate can be bought and sold using cryptocurrencies. Tell us more about that, and how do you see the impact of these decentralized transactions on the industry?
Thank you, sir. First of all, I will try to be a bit shorter than my colleagues, but at the same time, not less informative. So, first of all, yes, as you can see from my orange t-shirt, and as you just heard, we have invented a platform that can help any real estate business, both at the same time, to accept crypto as a payment method for any property and get it in fiat money. In this case, this is euro. In any other country, it could be their national currency as well. How actually does it work, and what comprehensive benefits we offer to our partners? First of all, this is a sales growth. I mean, whenever you start to accept a new payment method, in this case, this is crypto, you're able to find a new auditory for your business. In this case, it could be whether crypto buyers or crypto investors. In both cases, it's good because more money in your business means more profit. Secondly, this is focus on income. I mean, you don't need to spend your budget on teaching how to use crypto for your accountants, for your finance team, for your sales. We can do it instead of you. That's what we do, and that's why you can be our partner. And finally, it's absolutely legal. I mean, we have invented a system that can help you not to touch anyhow the crypto. So let it to us. you will get only fiat money. Thanks.
Cool. Alexis, you mentioned earlier about the property, streamlining the transfer of property deeds and the ownership verification. Can you tell a bit more how the technology can help on that aspect to...
Sure.
Yeah.
Blockchain is the single source of truth, yeah? So the ability to cut out the middle parties, the ability to independently verify, the ability to reach a global audience, the security, the efficiency, all that stuff that I have mentioned is all going to be streamlining the operations of what's happening today with the land registry. But for me, the most important thing, Panis, is what Christiana touched upon, the ability to reach out to a different audience when it comes, and this is where Artur's business comes in as well, the ability to reach out to different audiences in order to tap into a new pool of liquidity. The investor that has 5, 10, 50K sitting in his bank account, that money, which will probably be worth less tomorrow and even less the day after because of inflationary effects, the ability for that person to get into the property market, to invest into a sector that I would say today, together with the renewable energy sector, is one of the sexiest sectors, the one that is expected to generate most returns. So that is, and to do that, both with fiat and crypto. FuturEstate Alliance, which is on my title there, is a tokenization platform, asset tokenization. I'm not saying real estate only, because as Christiana mentioned, there's a number of projects we're looking at now, from renewable energy to property to financial products to precious stones. So the ability to fractionalize, to break down any asset generating an IRR, a return to the investor, to break it down into smaller units. So giving the owner of the project access to a new pool of liquidity coming both from the crypto world, and we have integrated a platform with financial institutions registered within Europe, in the UK actually, licensed institutions, to be able to accept both the crypto and the fiat held in escrow accounts, or when it comes to crypto custodial accounts, and release those funds to the owner of the project upon completion of the funding round. Crowdfunding was mentioned on the previous platform. Let's say the asset tokenization using blockchain is an improved version, a more secure version of what crowdfunding has been, giving more flexibility. The legal aspect was mentioned earlier, and I will not take from your time here because you will mention the legislation. Yes, I agree with what the previous panel has said. Legislation is a very important aspect of anything new. And the whole community is actually, the whole ecosystem is calling for regulation, and the European Union has recently launched 2 legislations. Back in March, the DLT pilot regime, which basically defines the framework for setting up what we call mini exchanges, where these assets can be traded. Me, being the owner of a token, can list, thus giving my investors a secondary market access to a secondary market. Again, as mentioned on the previous panel, very important for anybody investing in such assets to know that they are liquid. They can actually go and find a place to sell them. And more recently, you must have heard the MiCA regulation that actually has come along to define the types of tokens, of crypto tokens. So this win-win situation for both the small investor, the crypto investor, and the owner of the project to have this access to an additional pool of liquidity is what is going to be revolutionized. Anything that has value, anything that can be tokenized, we believe will be tokenized. Why? Because it makes sense. The characteristics of blockchain technology, as I described earlier, is something that will attract both sides of this transaction, both the investors and the owners of the project.
Let's go almost to the legal and regulatory
Yes.
challenges, because there is a lot of, especially in Cyprus, but also in a global level. Of course, in Dubai, they solved all this. They are moving faster than anybody in the world. But yeah, how we can overcome also some.
If you ask me a couple of years ago, I would say challenges were so many. But as I see, slowly we overcome the challenges. So I don't see so many challenges today. And having shared that the differentiation before, differentiation between the Bitcoin and those cryptocurrencies that are similar to that, and the crypto assets, which are a broader category, I want to share this with you so you will understand how we categorize the laws and regulations. Since we said there is the Bitcoin, it's got some value, that is a payment token. Similar to Bitcoins are all cryptocurrencies that we use them to pay. Some of them do have volatility. Some others, the stable coins, do not have volatility because they are pegged to or backed by some basket of assets, some official fiat currency. These are cryptocurrencies. What I shared before with you, that in a token we can tokenize share or bond or profit or investment agreement, this is a security token. So we do get payment tokens. These are the cryptocurrencies on the exchanges. We do get security tokens. These are not cryptocurrencies. These are crypto assets. These have different legislation, and the first category has other legislation. So for the cryptocurrencies, which are the payment tokens, which they are under that category, we find the stable coins, for example, and others which are not stable. These are regulated by the newest legislation, which is called MiCAR, Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation. Market in Crypto Assets Regulation has nothing to do with tokenizing real estate. This is the legislation for cryptocurrencies. If we now move to the other side, and we're talking about security tokens, these are not cryptocurrencies. These are not covered by MiCAR. How are these covered, therefore? These are security tokens, because inside them we code shares, we code bonds, we raise money based on loan agreements, we give profit to the investors because we rent the properties. These are security tokens. Do you see any similarity between these tokens that I'm describing now, the security tokens, with Bitcoin? Bitcoin, we use it to pay. Similar to Bitcoins, we use them to pay. Do we use security tokens to pay? Do we use any token that inside it has a share to pay? No. Therefore, you need to think about the function of the token. So different functions have different regulations. So cryptocurrencies have MiCAR now. But security tokens, we fractionalize a building, and we decide how I'm going to fractionalize this building into 1,000 pieces, 5,000 pieces, 10,000 pieces, 1 million pieces. How much should be each piece? That is based on its valuation.
Do you have a law about this?
Huh?
Currently in Europe, do you have a law about this?
We do
regulation?
have the laws with in respect to securities. These are securities, because if I fractionalize my building and I'm a real estate agent, I will set up a website, I will promote this to the public. Therefore, I will tell them, come on, public, come and buy my token. So therefore, this is an offer to the public. I'm not allowed to do that if I don't follow the securities laws. Therefore, I follow the securities laws, not MiCAR. MiCA is for cryptocurrencies. For tokenizing real estate, we follow the securities laws, the prospectus law, in order to offer these tokens to small investors through websites, through digital marketing. We target the communities of crypto-friendly individuals. Maybe one real estate agent say to me now, but I'm selling them. I don't care. I'm selling. I do get investors. I do get people who care, and they buy the whole apartment. Okay, good for you. Are you going to keep finding them? Because as we speak, crypto-friendly individuals, tech-savvy individuals multiply day by day. Maybe you forgot that kids are born, so life goes on. And then, have you ever planned the continuity of your real estate agency? Most of real estate agencies are family business, yes? Some others are not. So therefore, the parents and the grandparents will give this business to their kids, to their grandkids. So do you think your grandchildren will be able to sell to the same traditional people you do sellings? No, of course you're not. Therefore, why this ignorance towards technology? Why you don't get into it? Why you don't search about it? I mean, we're dealing with that. I mean, why should we share this if it didn't have value to you? So try it. Dare to get involved into tokenization, especially you who do not have the funds. Do you have something on paper? Do you have architectural plans? Have you got your permissions? Is this project you're working on something that could attract smaller investors? Then dare to tokenize it. You will raise funds. Even if you do have the funds, you will move to your next project.
I believe, Christiana, we are moving in a world that we will have normal currency and maybe digital currency in the future. I don't believe crypto will leave, is here to stay. But I believe, it's good for all the real estate agency. We have people here to start exploring this and move forward. But Artur, we are living also in a machine-driven world, like AI, automation. How do you see all these integrate? I mean, also blockchain technology, AI, Metaverse is a new buzzword.
Let's talk about it. Thank you, sir. Let's be honest. It's absolutely clear that both Metaverse and RE are growing extremely fast. Hopefully, our company is running fast too. So here we go. To be able to accept crypto payments, you need to have a cryptocurrency gateway. And it's exactly what we offer to our partners. It doesn't really matter for us whether you want to sell to your clients, land in the Metaverse, or it could be a cryptonized token in Dubai Mall, or it's just like a luxury villa somewhere in Larnaca. It doesn't matter. We are able to accept any crypto for those payments. More than that, I do really apologize.
Are you exploring as a company a Metaverse option?
We're ready and we're open to any options as well. We're quite mature in tokens as well. We've been working before in this niche, so we can discuss anything. We're quite known in this sphere, and we have awards that know what workplace is gonna get some profit for you. Yep.
Cool. We have another 7 minutes, so I want to give the floor to you to ask questions. So feel free to raise your hand. Here. Wait for the mic. State your name, maybe, and then tell us your question.
My name is Lee. I'm very interested in real estate tokenization, as the panelist mentioned. I want to ask, what is the regulation requirement to set up a company to do the real estate tokenization in Cyprus? Very specifically, I want to address the question to Mrs. Christina.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you very much. So you set up the SPV, that is the special purpose vehicle. If it is established in Cyprus, that vehicle would need to follow the Cypriot laws. These Cypriot laws have to do with securities laws, investment laws, prospectus laws. What is a prospectus? A prospectus is when you give shares or you give securities to the public, then you need to have approval by SISEC. Therefore, you file, you submit, you draft this prospectus and you submit it. However, up to 5 million, if you want to raise up to 5 million within 12 months for your project, and you decide to tokenize the project, you will sell it just for 5 millions, up to 5 millions, within 1 year, within 12 months. You are exempted from filing a prospectus with SISEC, so you escape this requirement. So you don't have really to follow this specific requirement of prospectus. Therefore, what do? You decide what you want to fractionalize. Is it because you want to raise funds to erect the real estate? Is it already in the middle of its way, the project? Are you near to its end? Depends. It depends of the stage of the project. You decide how much you need. Do you need 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million? You decide how much you need to raise, and then you tokenize the part or the whole, depending on the value of your real estate. You tokenize that part because you want to tell your investor, my investor, I want to raise this amount because if I raise this amount, I will do this and this and this. You need to protect your investor. Your investor needs to know what you're doing with her money. Therefore, that is why this is normally is regulated, and above 5 million, because it's a lot of money, you have to protect your investors by submitting a prospectus. But up to 5 million, you don't need to submit a prospectus, but you need some contracts. So you do need to reflect a solid, a good legal agreement and offering documents in the token. Therefore, you would need to go to a lawyer who understands technology, who knows technology, to draft these legal contracts for you, these offering documents. These documents will be coded in the token, and then you will sell this token to the investor. And where does this token goes? In his digital wallet.
At the end, we all need lawyers in this life.
Alexis wants to add something.
Another obligation
just because I want
to do with the investors you're actually reaching out to. For you to open up your website where you advertise your project, you need to, and you open it up to investors from Greece, Israel, you name it, whatever. Then you got to go to the local authority, the local SISEC, the securities authority of the country, and file certain papers to do with for permission, asking for permission to reach out to investors from that territory, opening up your website for investors.
So the questions are two. Where do you want to set your SPV, your special purpose vehicle? And then where do you want to sell? Do you want to sell in the UK? Do you want to sell in France? Do you want to sell in Israel? Do you want to sell in Dubai? Then we just liaise with the regulator each time in order to get the necessary approvals so that you open your websites in that specific jurisdiction to raise money from that specific part of the world. So is this clear?
Okay. Sorry. Alexis, Christiana will be here because I want to take another question. We have another question, and you can, when we finish in 2 minutes, you can discuss further all this.
Hello, Valentina Nicolaou. I'm quite new to this blockchain sector, so apologies in advance if it's a basic question. But if you are advertising your tokens and tokenization and fractionalization, as you're saying, do you need to link this with specific returns as you do with a conventional cash investment. So you say to your investors, if you invest and buy this token, you will receive 8%, 5% yield, or does it not work like that
Exactly.
precisely?
Can I take
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, very quick. We have only
Yeah.
1.5 minutes.
Again, it's a case of what the offering of the project owner is. The project owner will put out a certain return to the investor, will propose a certain return, an IRR on a project. It could be, if it's a financial product, it could be an interest. So, and accordingly, the return for the investor will be taxed accordingly. So what the steps are is basically first the legal aspect, that you've got to set up the SPV properly and do the offering properly. You've got to have, and that's where we come in as Grant Thornton, and evaluate the proposition of the party. So we basically put our stamp of approval, or yes, we've reviewed the proposal and this is based on sound assumptions, or the licenses that are there, etc. You've set it up technically, and then you got to market it. But yes, you're absolutely right. You need to have a proposal to the investors and say, and this is all reflected in the smart contract that is being built into that token. All the details are actually in that smart contract within the token that you offer.
So it's just like a cash investment, but
it's like any kind of investment. There's a return, you invest and you return. It can be dividends, it can be interest, depending on your proposition, on the offer.
Okay.
And it wouldn't
Thank
be
you.
attractive otherwise.
Thank you.
Panis, there was a question there.
We're out of time. You
Let's take
can,
the last one, right?
if you're quick. Yeah.
Something, or you just get the benefits when you get the token? Because I didn't understand how you own the asset. Like, I invest in the token, I give you $1 million. What do I have? Thank you.
As I said before, this is a legal arrangement, and it depends on the legal arrangement. Inside the token, there's an agreement. What kind of agreement do you want to make?
Who holds the asset? I give
You hold the asset,
How do I-
you hold the token in your wallet.
Do I have a title deed?
No, the asset remains within the SPV. So
And who's the shareholder of the SPV?
the shareholder, the entity that actually launches the project. It could be the developer, for example, that owns the project. But through the private agreement between you and him, he transfers ownership of that asset to yourself.
Okay, and I'll go back a bit. You said like it's unhackable and it's the most secure. I totally disagree, by the way, but I mean in a way that how do you do a smart contract, okay, and then you come back to me and you say what do I own? It's totally hackable, the smart contract. You can lose your 24 figures, numbers, letters, whatever.
No, wait.
How does it work?
No,
I'm
no.
trying to understand.
No. Okay, and let's wrap it up with this. Actually, the coding has very good encryption. It is almost unhackable, but the wallets and all the other applications around all this, it's easy to hack. It's easy to forget your crypto, etc., etc.
Excuse me.
Let me finish. I mean, and even the hardcore technology is not so. It has very good encryption. We're waiting for quantum maybe encryption to come, and then maybe we can say that all these are hackable.
Excuse me,
Just quick, because we need to finish.
Him if he has his money in the pillow on his bed.
Nothing is hackable.
You have it. You have it in a bank, and the bank has access to your account. That is why what happened in 2013 in Cyprus. So what I'm saying is that if they do have access to your money through the banks, then yeah, it could be the case that they do have access to your wallet. Therefore, you should be very careful who you choose as a custodian of your wallet, because we do get custodians who are regulated.
Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We need to wrap it up. Thank you, Artur. Thank you, Christiana. Thank you, Alexis. Christiana will be here if you want to have a talk with them. Artur has a booth outside in the expo. You can find him. He will be here all day long. Thank you. Hope you have learned something new today.